for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chairman. To all of the panelists, are you familiar with President Trump's March 19th executive order titled Achieving Efficiency Through State and Local Preparedness? Just show of hands. Most of you are. Okay, I'll read section 1 to you. Common sense approaches and investments by state and local governments across American infrastructure will enhance national security and create a more resilient nation. Federal policy must rightly recognize that preparedness is most effectively owned and managed by the state, local, and even individual levels, supported by a competent, accessible, and efficient federal government. I'm sorry that this administration has failed on the competency part, but I want to just highlight 2 things from an article titled 5 Ways the Trump Administration is Increasing the Risk of Blackouts. It states that in October, the administration canceled more than $2 billion worth of funding allocated to communities to harden their energy infrastructure against extreme weather threats through the Grid Resilience and Innovation Partnership Program administered by the U.S. Department of Energy's Grid Deployment Office. Are you familiar with that program? Yeah. These cancellations included 26 grants across 25 states, and another 19 grants may also be canceled according to an internal DOE list shared by Politico. In addition to the cuts for DOE projects, the administration ended a major FEMA program for disaster resilience called the Building Resilient Infrastructure and Communities Program. BRIC provided funding to communities to reduce the risk of climate disasters and other natural hazards from damaging public infrastructure such as energy, water, and wastewater infrastructure. The elimination of the program revoked more than $3.6 billion in funding that was allocated for community projects across the country, including projects to upgrade the grid. Are you familiar with BRIC? Okay. Mr. Lindell, in response to a question by Chairman Latta, you said, quote, "You can always use more resources." Is that correct?
That's correct.
Does anybody disagree with that? Okay. So I'm going to have you answer yes or no. Are these over $5.6 billion in cuts by the Trump administration to these 2 vital programs helpful to states, municipalities, and utilities? Yes or no?
No.
The cuts or the funds?
The cuts to the funds?
No.
Yes.
Depends.
Depends on? You said you need more resources, correct?
We do.
So $5.6 billion is a significant amount of resources.
It is a significant amount, but we're going to continue to innovate and run the grid. Whether
I know you'll do what you
not.
need to do, but you need us to be good partners.
That's right.
The executive order is supported, and that includes financial resources, including $5.6 billion in grants. Yes or no?
No. No.
Yeah. So it's difficult to sit here in this committee room and have this conversation when Republican colleagues are silent when $5.6 billion are being cut from these essential programs and literally undermining the president's own executive order of supporting all of you. But it just doesn't stop there. The administration has also fired over 1,000 cybersecurity and infrastructure agency staff. Does that make our country safer and more able to respond to these increasing cybersecurity attacks? Yes or no? We'll go down the line again.
No.
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 No. No.
Yeah. So you understand the challenge that we feel here on this side, right? Because we can diagnose the problem ad nauseum, but we have colleagues who refuse to lift their voices when the Trump administration is cutting $5.6 billion in funds, when they're cutting CISA, which is largely a vendetta, according to Project 2025, about what they think CISA did in the 2016 election. Crazy. They're also moving CISA staff to other agencies like ICE, which has no connectivity to what their work has been. So this administration is weakening our communities. They're weakening the work that you need to do. They're weakening our cybersecurity capabilities. And the last thing I'll say is, Mr. Crasall, you talk about China's awareness of our grid's vulnerabilities and modernizing our grid for increased AI adoption can and should take future cyber threats into consideration, right? Like AI is becoming more of an issue, both from an offensive capability of our adversaries and needs to be a defensive capability. We had our first AI hearing in this committee on February 5th. All that they've done is try to roll back AI state laws. There's no federal framework. There's no federal approach to cybersecurity, to AI, and we're all weaker and more vulnerable because of it. I look forward to our colleagues across the aisle actually doing the work and stepping up for our communities. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. Chair now recognizes the gentleman